Why does China have so many dialects?
明天会落雨啊，天不会落水，明天不会落雨，明天会下雨。
Can Chinese people even understand each other?
你晓得渔夫公园有没有走到哦？渔夫公园呐？
什么？
晓得胸膛跟渔夫公园到哪子吗？
Today, we're diving deep into China's crazy linguistic world and how do dialects actually affect Chinese people's lives? Don't miss out!
真丑的个男的，哎，老子你真丑的那个男的！外公80多岁，洗个澡都不会洗，啷个跑？跑路那个还带外公嘛？你想得出来？我顶你个肺啊！
Chinese, or what linguists call the Sinitic languages, is part of the Sino-Tibetan family. It's the most widely spoken language in China and ranks as the world's second most spoken language, right after English. According to China's Ministry of Education, Chinese dialects are officially classified into 10 major groups. Each contains numerous subdialects and local variants. This breaks down further into about 100 subgroups, 200 to 300 local varieties, and potentially thousands of local dialects. Take my hometown dialect for example. It's part of the Xiang dialect group, then branches into the Changyi subgroup, and further narrows down to the Changzhutan local variety. And finally, at the most specific level, you get my hometown dialect, Urban Xiangtan dialect. The most widely spoken dialect is Mandarin dialect, used by over 70% of Chinese speakers, divided into 8 regional varieties. So, why are there so many dialects? Linguistic research shows that dialects emerge through gradual language divergence. In China's case, historical migration waves were a key factor in shaping dialect distribution, while later diversification resulted from complex interactions between administrative borders, natural environments, and social development. This pattern aligns with how languages evolved globally. Chinese dialects evolved from Old Chinese, 上古汉语, and Middle Chinese, 中古汉语. Old Chinese is the earliest recorded stage of Chinese language, dating from ancient China, 3,600 years ago. Old Chinese, 上古汉语, originated in the Central Plains, 中原, the Yellow River region that was China's cultural and political heartland. Surrounding areas spoke related but distinct varieties. Through conquest, migration, and cultural exchange, Old Chinese absorbed features from local languages. We all know that Qin Shi Huang unified the writing system, but spoken language remained diverse, which means two people could read the same text, yet pronounce it completely differently.
言六挺，
言六鼎. Over centuries, sound changes, lexical borrowing, and geographic isolation gradually shaped China's major dialect groups. Still, take my hometown dialect, Xiang dialect, for example. Xiang dialect is mainly spoken in Hunan province. Xiang originated from the ancient Chu language, later blending with Central Plains Chinese to form Old Xiang. During the Songyuan period, Gan and Mandarin influences spread to eastern Hunan, creating New Xiang, while western Hunan preserved Old Xiang. Hunan's dialects are diverse. Xiang is just one of 3 major varieties, alongside Gan and southwestern Mandarin. With Xiang, there are subdialects, and some are even found outside Hunan. Most Chinese dialects share this long, complex history of mixing and evolution. This is my dad. He's from Hubei province and speaks the local dialect.
园子里的左旁有个孩儿，穿着袜的裤儿，兜着猫的狗儿。
Surprise! We've got tongue rolling sounds in China too. Does this even sound like Chinese to you? In China, dialect differences can range from British English versus American English to English versus Spanish. So, here's another question. Are these different dialects or entirely separate languages? The distinction between dialect and language varies by field. General linguistics focuses on mutual intelligibility. Historical linguistics examines genealogical relationships. Linguistic anthropology argues it's often socio-political. What we call a language may depend on national identity, not just linguistics. That's why varieties like Ming, Yue, Wu, and Hakka are officially called Chinese dialects, yet many linguists classify them as separate languages. Since Chinese dialects are so different, especially in southern China, can people from different regions really understand each other? I think you already guessed it. The answer is depends. Mandarin dialects are mostly understandable for Mandarin speakers, with only some local vocabulary differences, but comprehension still varies from person to person. For non-Mandarin dialects, that's a whole different story. For example, I'm from Xiangtan, Hunan province, so naturally I understand Xiangtan dialect. Changsha dialect, same variety, still understandable. Yiyang dialect, different varieties, it's already hard to catch. Henyang dialect, different subgroup, now we're struggling. Hakka, whole different major group, completely unintelligible. So how do we talk to people from other regions?
普通话是现代汉语的标准语，以北京语音为标准音，以北方话为基础方言，以典范的现代白话文著作为语法规范。普通话为中国的国家通用语言。
By 2020, about 80% of Chinese people could speak Mandarin, Putonghua, so communication across regions usually works fine. But hardly anyone speaks it perfectly, except news anchor, most mixing local accents, just like non-native English speakers retain their mother tongue's influence. There are some classic examples. Sichuanese accented Mandarin.
就是我万生敬仰的太乙真人，虽然有点婴儿肥，但也掩不住我逼人的帅气。
Cantonese accented Mandarin.
嚟滿一定要好好充實自己，好好學習普通話，就好像我一樣，知道嗎？
Hunanese accented Mandarin.
对，我知道，就是你自己本来不想做这个舞蹈编导，那个大学有那个舞蹈编导，是不是？
Each has its own flavor and charm. How do these dialects affect Chinese people's life? Dialects, just like our mother tongues, often carry deep emotions and a sense of home. This is especially true for regions where non-Mandarin dialects were spoken. It can feel like you're a different person when speaking Mandarin, but when you speak your hometown dialect, that's the real you. Since most of us speak Mandarin with a regional accent, hearing someone with the same accent when you are far from home can be surprisingly touching. It's like a signal. They're from your hometown too. And in that moment, it almost feels like you've bumped into family. Because of my family background, even though I grew up in southern China, where regional dialects are widely spoken, I never learned to speak the local dialect. I can understand it, but I can't speak it myself. When I was a kid, the other kids at school would all speak dialects with each other, but they switched to Mandarin when talking to me. Because even though I could understand the dialect, it just felt weird when they kept using it with me, like two people were talking in different languages. Deep down, I always wished I could join their conversations in dialect. It felt like that was the only way to truly become part of the group, but I never managed to do it, and that left me with a sense of loneliness. In college, my roommates were from all over the country. When they got home, they spoke in their own dialects, which I couldn't understand at all. I remember feeling so envious. I was the only one who still used Mandarin when talking to my family. So the only way I could prove I was from Hunan was by showing off how much spicy food I could eat. So dumb. These years, with Mandarin being promoted as the standard language across China, many local dialects are fading, which has sparked quite a bit of debate. Personally, I find dialect culture really fascinating. Even though I can't speak one myself, I hope my future kids will at least grow up speaking the dialect of wherever they live. I think there's a unique sense of belonging that only a dialect can bring, and it's something stays with you for a lifetime. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'd love to hear what your hometown dialect is. Drop it in the comments. I'm Yu. See you next time. 下次见。
小燕子穿花衣，年年春天来这里。